Okay, welcome to the RChain Asia meeting. Thanks everybody. So let's start with the introduction first. We got two new members coming today. Jocelyn and I have to introduce myself. My name is Will Chu and Will Q. You can call me that. And I'm the lead. I'm the lead for now of RChain Asia community now. And hello everybody. And let's okay. So let's let the new members to make a small introduction of them. Jocelyn Lee, right?
Right.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you make a small introduction of yourself?
Yeah, sure. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right. Nice to meeting you, everyone. My name's Jocelyn. Well, thank you so much for inviting me for this second Asia RChain online meeting. I'm very excited and looking forward to work with everyone. And I believe my role, I'll be joining RChain as the Director of Business Development for Asia. Just a brief introduction about my background. Currently, I'm working for Kraken as the VIP account manager. So I manage relationships with a lot of like VIP clients based in Asia and Europe, but also helped Kraken launching their marketing strategy going into Asia, especially in Korea. And before that, I was working for Cardano as the global contents manager. And Cardano has like several teams like Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and English like community teams. And I was like overlooking the marketing and content of all these different regions. And and before that, I was involved with a couple of like big blockchain projects based in Europe. But before diving myself into the crypto community or space, I was a lawyer working for the World Bank and the New Zealand Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. And I speak Korean, Chinese, and Japanese. Well, yeah, nice to meeting you, everyone.
Nice meeting you, Jocelyn. Welcome. And yes. So let's get to the next one. Hello, Mao. Are you there? Can you speak? Can you speak, or you have to type? He's in the chat. Can you make a small introduction of yourself? Okay. Yes. Okay. He's in Beijing, I believe. Yes. Okay. And yes, Mao is the owner of the two major Chinese QQ groups. I think he's one of the earliest investor of the RChain too. And
can Christian unmute his mic? Maybe he can't unmute it.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I just rather people unmute themselves. I don't really like doing that.
Oh,
okay. He can't speak. He can't speak. Okay. So.
Okay.
Hi, Christian.
Hey, what's up?
Here as well.
We can move on.
Oh.
Okay, so that's all for now. Right now, okay. Okay.
Hey, Will.
Yes.
Now that we're finished with the introductions, can we go back in the agenda to the section 1? There's the one very important thing for all members to know. The Rock to Rev swap is coming up, and it's happening in December when the mainnet is launched.
Okay.
So can you talk about that?
Yes. And hello. And Jonathan talked about that, and we are going to do the Rock to Rev swap in December when the main name is launched, and you can visit the developer website. I posted in the chat, and there are more details about it. If you have any questions, please ask. And the developer website is the only place that rock holders should trust for the information. Okay, and I hope everybody know this issue, and make sure you are going to you are going to make the rock to swap safely and security. And does anybody has any questions about this rock to rev swap? Okay. Any questions?
My question is more related to the website. So you said the developer, the RChain.co, is like should be the only like trusted source in terms of any announcements. So is this kind of like the main like centralized platform for all communications and content for RChain right now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's what I need to know, because with every different like blockchain protocol, they have their own centralized platform. Like for example, Ethereum will have their forum page, and Cardano will have their forum page. So I was wondering if this is like serving, if developer page is serving the purpose of that similar function for RChain right now.
RChain have the developer forum too. You can, but I'm not sure everything. We discussed many issues, developer techniques issue and questions there. I believe there are some rock to. I'm not sure about it, that. And you can attend to the Discord channel. There is a Discord channel in the RChain Co-op. Are you in the Discord channel, Jocelyn?
Oh no, I'm not, but I'll join. But I can see that there are like the developer website, and then there's the forum for RChain as well.
Yeah, the answer to Jocelyn's question is that there is, in a sense, no one central place for RChain news, truths, and updates. Things are better than they used to be, but things are still scattered in multiple places. But for right now, the authoritative place for the Rock to Rev swap is on the developer.rchain.coop site.
Okay. Yeah. This is just a side note, but this was something that I briefly discussed with Lee and Steve from Reflective the other day about having a centralized platform for all possible announcement as well as content for RChain, because it's important to have a centralized platform, because once we have these like different Asian communities, it's important that we have consistent communications and translated messages like across all different regions. So yeah, maybe that's something that we should think about, how we should manage this.
Okay, Will?
Oh, yes. So, Jocelyn?
Yeah?
Are you clear now?
Yeah. I think Jonathan answered my question. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. If you have any other questions, please ask. Okay, and let's go to the next subject. And on October 24th will be the date of all members in Seattle. And there will be voting on nomination for the RChain Cooperative Board and ballot initiatives. The yes goal is to have all voting on chain on Ethereum. And I hope everybody knows about this issue. You are going to vote for the board members for the RChain Cooperative. And anybody have questions about this? Does anybody have questions about this? Okay. And also the next subject is the RCon 3 in Berlin, December 3rd to 6th in Berlin, and I believe there was many discussion about the validators. If you are interested to be the validators, please join. And they have a form for this. You can know more about this also from the developer website, please. And you can ask if you are not clear about anything in this Discord. I believe many people can answer your questions there. And
also, quickly, I want to just mention that there's going to be a second round of scholarships. So if there's any dApp developers or validators who might need a scholarship for travel expenses and such, tickets, yeah, keep an eye for the RCon 3 website. Should be another round.
Okay.
Is the information regarding scholarships also available on the RCon website? Like more specific details?
I don't know.
I can let me find the website and I'll paste it in the chat.
Okay, so let's jump to the next subject. And okay, Mervyn has already posted the scholarship of RCon 3. Please read. Okay.
Yeah, also a reminder, I think the early bird signups, the deadline is on the 31st of July for RCon 3.
Yes, so we asked for a second round because a lot of people didn't know. We might have more like people to support. So yeah, feel free to fill it, or I'll ask if there's going to be another different form, but I think it's the same one.
Okay.
Sorry, just another quick question.
Yes.
So in terms of, so from the perspective of Asian communities, like normally how have you communicated like this sort of information to like the communities in Asia? For example, do you have someone like on the WeChat account who's like, you know, posting these threads, sharing these links to like a WeChat account? Is someone doing that, or do we even have like a WeChat account right now? Like normally, how are these things, you know, get spreaded across the communities in Asia? I'm just interested to know.
Hi, I'm Enzo. I might be able to answer your question.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I can only answer that for the China part because I'm in China and I'm mostly familiar with the Chinese community. We have like 3 or 4 channels or platforms to publish this kind of information or spread the words. I think the first and the most important now is the QQ group. There are like 2 major QQ groups, both owned by Maululu. He showed up a few minutes ago, and the big one has like 3,000 people, and the smaller one has maybe 700 or 800. So anything essential that happen about RChain will be discussed or mentioned in the QQ group, and that's instant message, so it's very efficient.
Right.
And the second one is there is a website voluntarily maintained by some Chinese community member. I think the domain is rchain.site. That's for now. That's only in Chinese. So that's mostly for the Chinese community, and there is a WeChat subscription. I think there are 2, but the other one is not so active. So if you search RChain in WeChat, I mean for the how do you say it in English? The subscription. I don't know the exact word. We say 公众号. So you will find 2 or 3 subs for that, and but that's not updated very frequently, like 2 or 3 times per week, and that's only for something very important or big, some announcement or some really great progress RChain has made,
Right.
or some meetup only in China. So that's basically how we spread the words in China for now.
So
Hope that answers the question.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Enzo. So who is the administrator of RChain.site?
I think it's Beijing Zhidong, right? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Maybe we'll know that.
Yes. Beijing Zhudong is the maintainer of the website, and yes, and many data are there, and there's not only one person to maintain this website. Many people have write articles about it. Yes.
Right. Okay.
And Jocelyn, you're exactly right. The fact that there is not as much communication in the Asian communities as there should be is exactly why we started this weekly call, and why you and I are hopefully both going to be working in Singapore soon.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think yeah, there are a lot of things that I should learn and catch up, and yeah, just wanted to like just have a general understanding of like how far we have been doing right now, so that I think we could have like a follow-up like call sometime soon about the platforms and stuff.
Yeah, I think I was also having this conversation earlier with Will with regards to the WeChat groups, because I realized there's another 公众号, which is on WeChat, is like an official one-way communication account. There is another one called黑板 official account.
Yes.
So I was thinking whether we could synchronize all these communication channels and maybe get them updated on the official RChain website.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what's
Yeah.
important is to make sure that whatever communications or content or announcement that we send out across all these communication channels should not be misleading or official. Should be official. So yeah, I think we should have a follow-up call about maybe merging different. It doesn't have to be merging, but come up with a strategy to make sure that every information or messaging that we're going out it's not scam or it's not misleading. Yeah. So maybe we should have like a moderator or someone like a volunteer ambassador who's constantly monitoring all this information.
Yes, and I actually have tried to persuade these two maintainers of the two WeChat office account. I did it before, but they don't disagree with each other. And I will try to do this. Push it to like them to share the same WeChat office so account, not doing two. Yeah, try to make no confusion there for the people. Okay. I'm going to do that. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Okay, and now no questions about it. Let's jump to the next one. And
Yeah, well,
yes.
I want to interrupt here. Well, I'm not sure it will be necessary for the two WeChat subscription to merge into one, because apparently it's maintained by two different individuals, or I don't know if
two different individuals, two groups, totally two groups.
Yes, so they have their own understanding or a focus or preference on things relevant to RChain. So, and I don't think it's a bad thing that we have different various sources of information. At least the number two is not very big number. So I think they can keep it that way. I mean, we should encourage people doing that, because that's a spirit of decentralizing, spirit of the blockchain. So maybe there may be we might need some coordination or collaboration on that, but I don't think it's necessary to merge them. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, for me, I don't really think that merging is like the only way to the only solution. And I do agree. We encourage different groups to have their own community, because that's like I agree with the stuff that we mentioned today earlier. The only concern that I have right now is maybe we don't have someone like monitor or monitor all this like information that's on different channels. There are like scams or rumors or misleading information going all over control. So that's something that we should think about, how we should ensure, regardless of which communication channel you're on, information you're getting, it's not official.
Then I think we should find a ways to make sure every information of them is accurate. And what about that? Let's leave it there. And I will talk to the two maintainers and ask them to attend to this meeting next week. Okay? And let's leave it there for now. Okay? Let's keep it that way. And okay, so let's jump to the next subject. Okay.
Will, actually, let me just mention one thing that I noticed. Mervyn posted a link to the QR code to join the WeChat, and I tried to do that on my phone, but I get an error message saying that the group has more than 100 members. So one of the members has to add people, and I don't know WeChat, but it would be good if we could get something worked out where people can join these WeChat groups.
Yes. Okay, I will do that later. Okay. So
okay.
Leave it there for now. Okay. Talk to me later after the meeting. Okay. We have so many subjects to talk about, so let's skip to the next one. Okay.
Yes.
And okay. Thank you. let's talk about the next one. The validator recruitment updates. And the validator FAQ is available at RChain developer website. It's being updated frequently. I hope everybody can read it. Yes. Please send all possibility interested candidate validators there for information and to sign up. And okay, everybody is clear about that? Okay, so Jonathan has gotten a Vertex Capital confirmed as a major participant of validator focus group. Jonathan, would you like to talk about this? Hello, Jonathan. Are you there?
Yes, hi, sorry, my unmute was buried under other screens. So,
Okay.
yes, we have a major, at least one major investment group, venture capital group, that will be investing in validator pools that I know about. And Greg Meredith mentioned that there's a large number more. There is a validator focus group happening this Friday night, Singapore time, Friday morning, Pacific time. And people are being signed up for that. So yes, go to the RChain developer website for validator sign up. I wanted to hear from Mark Pui or Mervin about anything more happening with the Malaysian miners and whether you got my message about the message from Greg Meredith about having them communicate with him.
Yeah, I saw the message about from Greg, and he opened a special channel. I think under the general tab was the validator focus group. Yeah, I'll be sending him an email and inviting Mark and potentially the validators from Malaysia to join this call this Friday.
Great. And I also wanted to be sure I'm not misrepresenting. The trip to Bali will include a trip to meet a couple of Balinese headquartered validators. Is that true?
No. This won't be headquartered, Balinese headquartered validators. This will be the Malaysian validators that are going on to a vacation in Bali.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are I think one of the few major Malaysian validators will be going to this trip in Bali. Yeah. And also I wanted to check on the maybe possibility of meeting some of the blockchain people in Bali, because I'm not too familiar with the people there. I'm not sure if is Peter still on the call?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Peter, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think some of me and Jonathan and Mark will be in Bali, so we might be exploring going to the blockchain zoo in Ubud. Do you have any people to connect us with, or any people that we should be meeting on our trip to Bali?
Yeah, I'll send you like direct message, and then I'll need to check who is actually there and stuff like that. Well, I didn't notice, so it's good that you bring it up, and I'll do my best.
And
all
Peter,
right, thank you.
And Peter, tell us about the blockchain zoo. It looks like an interesting project, and it might be of relevance to RChain. Can you tell us more?
I've actually never been, so I'm not really sure. There's like in general in Ubud, there's been many projects related to blockchain that date back quite far. So Ubud used to have, still has actually, one guy in particular who was very active in kind of pushing blockchain, and for quite a while back in 2014 or so, Ubud had more Bitcoin activity than Singapore had, and was like one of the biggest places in Asia to pay with Bitcoin, and kind of, you know, this whole thing was kind of getting started. So there's many people there that are interested in that and that are working on different things and stuff like that. And it's always Ubud specifically, but also like Bali in general, and the kind of the expat communities there are always like massively in flux. So I would need to check with some people for a kind of sort of current update, I would say.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I just wanted to jump in. My name is Tushar. I like
Hello,
like
Tusha.
yeah. So I bumped into Jonathan a few days ago, and it was great connecting with him. So I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, but I work for the crypto/blockchain arm of a quote unquote traditional venture capital fund, and setting up validator nodes is something that we're exploring as well. From a timeline perspective, we're still in the process of setting up a fund. But this is something that would be quite interesting for us as well in the near future. So it'd be great to, I'm not sure how exactly to join the call on Friday. Friday, is it?
Yeah, Tushar, this is Jonathan. I will give you that information. We're keeping that information a little semi-private instead of blasting publicly.
Okay, sure.
For that particular call.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Tusha. Thank you. And also, the Reflected Venture has engaged the service of the network engineering company that saved EOS launch. And they are excited that we have asked for their assistance 5 months from the launch instead of 1 month from launch. And I don't know, I know nothing about it. Jonathan, I want to explain a little bit about that.
Sure thing. So when EOS was about to launch, they suddenly realized that they had major flaws in their network architecture, and things were falling apart. And this network engineering company came in and saved the day from complete EOS failure. So we noticed that this company was extremely effective, and we have contracted with them to look at our network architecture 5 months before launch to make sure that we're anticipating all possible problems with mainnet launch. So that's a very big quality assurance consideration for security of our mainnet launch. So that's worth noting.
Okay, that's great. Okay, anybody has any questions about this? So no then, and the next one, let's jump to the next one. RChain membership growth. It appears the rate of the new paid membership from Asia are growing. Yes, that's awesome. Great. And thanks everybody. Yes, and more efforts. Anybody has any ideas about this?
Mervin, can you talk about the firm above your office and how we might possibly engage them for Singapore membership drives?
Hello, Mervin. He's not there.
Hi, this is Leon from MW Partners. So regarding the Singapore membership drive, maybe we are in discussions that we could actually create a small Singapore RChain group that especially focus on gathering members, developers, as well as potential validators for our country. This way, we will also encourage a better discussion within a smaller group and also facilitate our spreading of information to this group of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And to answer your question, the people that are working above us, they are from blockchain projects. They help host events in Singapore. So I think the previous time they were hosting an event at Bit Temple. So I could further discussions with them to possibly start a meetup session where we could just give a brief introduction to the local community about RChain.
Okay, thanks, Mervin. And anybody have any questions? No. Okay, let's jump to the next press. And I want to talk. Let me talk about talk about this. There is and rating agencies has written a rating article on RChain. Jonathan has make a good translation of this document into English. You can read it. And the rating agency has given RChain a B instead of an A, based on some misunderstanding. Yeah, and yes, I have talked to the director of the agencies, and they admit they don't know much, don't know well about it, and I have talked. They want to come talk to us more often and want to know more about that. And they have tried to reach to RChain QQ group, but they have been kicked out. Uh, uh, because there are some strict rules in the serious QQ group, and they should ask the information about RChain in the more casually group QQ group. And okay, and I have talked with them about these things. We maybe okay, and Jonathan, you want to speak a little bit about about the misunderstanding?
Yeah, basically they had two misunderstandings. One is I think they kind of assumed that we had done an ICO and had not been successful at getting the coin onto exchanges. They don't understand that we didn't really want to be on exchanges, so they're concerned that we have low market liquidity and don't seem to pay attention to the fact that we will be on most all exchanges once we do the conversion to Rev. So that's number one. Number two, they recognize that our project is very challenging technically, and they say that is a huge execution risk, but they neglect to point out that our technical team has delivered every single sprint on time and sometimes exceeded expectations for the delivery. So yes, it's a challenging project, but our technical people are completely up to the challenge. So those are the two main misunderstandings they had, and I'm sure if they really talked with us, they bump us up at least to a B plus, if not an A minus. So Will, if you have connections with them and we could have some communications. I don't know how influential this ratings organization is, but word gets around. It's a tight-knit community, and maybe Jocelyn has some ideas as well.
Yeah, just follow up on that. So far, who within RChain, like Asia Group, has been responsible for answering media or like an agency rating agency some inquiries? What's the go-to person? Do we have like a go-to person?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So then, like, how do they contact us? Do they just like contact us through the website, and someone will just like answer them randomly? Was that
I have no idea.
Actually, they try to reach to the RChain QQ group first, but they have been kicked out because of some rules in the QQ group. There are two QQ groups. I have to explain this. One is
actually, yeah, there are a lot of blockchain medias and rating companies, but really, I think maybe one or two of them has made some research on RChain or know something about it, and for the rest, they are totally ignorant, or they don't know very little about RChain.
Yeah. So this rating agency, are they like a Western company, or are they like from Asia?
I'm sorry.
So, you know, this rating agency, like, where are they based?
They are based in Beijing.
Oh, right. Okay.
China. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it will be.
Any more details you want to know?
Oh, I think maybe in the future, what would be helpful is to think about a strategy to how RChain engages with PR or any other like external inquiries, so that we send out like correct information and also make the public and all these like media more informed about RChain. I think I should think about how we should do that. Yeah, we'll do a follow-up meeting, and yeah, we can discuss about that.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Okay, so that's all for the rating agency. Okay, Jonathan is being interviewed this week for Debrief Asia by the note SE Asian blogger Tusha. And Tusha and Jonathan, you want to talk about this? And is this
We're meeting today at 2:00.
Yep.
Okay.
We're just meeting at 2. We're not going to be recording the podcast.
Yes.
The podcast will be sometime this week.
Okay. So okay, that's it. WeChat fan group, WeChat official channels, and QQ groups makes them official and updating in the official website and other communication channel. Yes, okay. I will try to do that. I will contact the maintainer. Yes.
Well, Peter, I have access to the website. So if you send me in DM the links that you want updated, then I'll make sure that we take care of that. That's maybe the fastest way. For the main website, at least.
Update. I'm sorry. What do you mean?
So for updating the official website, I can help you with that. If you just send me what needs to be updated.
Okay. Updating.
If you don't want to update on the official website, then of course it doesn't apply. But if you want to make a patch to the official website, then I can help you make the patch. Then you don't need to go to Patrick, who's much more busy.
Okay. I will contact you about this later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and the RChain Asia offices. Jonathan is considering the utility of BitTemple as temporary office space. Jonathan, let you to talk about this.
Basically, a lot of the companies that have an office, excuse me, in BitTemple are mainland Chinese companies that have rented space purely for jurisdictional reasons. They don't actually have any people. So the place is a bit of a ghost town. And I think for a temporary space, it would be better to have a facility or presence in a place that is filled with people that are actually there working. But the long term, when Jocelyn comes on board, we'll be looking for more official office spaces. So that's pending to do, and we can move on to number 8, conference reports. So I went to the World Blockchain Summit Thursday and Friday. It was very successful. I made meaningful contacts with 40 different parties, primarily venture capitalists, candidate platform partners, and various regionally interesting resources. I'm particularly interested in the regionally interesting resources with respect to RChain Asia. These are companies that help setting up incorporation and logistics. People that know the Singapore blockchain community intimately, know who the good players are, know who the bottom feeders are. So we have some very, very trusted angels now to help us make our way through the Singapore blockchain cryptocurrency maze. So I'll leave it at that for now, because we're running out of time here. And also very quickly, I was hoping that Lee Carter or Steve from Reflective Ventures could join us, but they weren't able to. But they've been in Asia for about a week. They were at the Korea Blockchain Week. They're now in Beijing, and I think they're headed to Taiwan next. So hopefully next week I can get one of them to give us an update in the RChain Asia call, or possibly I could just distill what they're probably going to say in tomorrow's general RChain weekly debrief. But from what I've heard, they've made some fabulous connections in Korea and China, and possibly in Japanese markets as well. And Jocelyn, do you want to talk about Korea Blockchain Week?
Jocelyn? Hello?
Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot to unmute my mic. Sorry. So I attended two conferences. The first one was hosted by Icon and Hashed. So they are the two main hosts, and the other one was hosted by HiCon. And yeah, like these two conferences were like a really sharp, contrast to each other, and it really made me realize how important the like who the host is when you actually like think about the quality of the people that you attract to a particular conference. Yeah, I met very interesting people for both conferences, but I definitely prefer the first one. I think just based on my general impression, Asia is definitely growing bigger and bigger, and there are a lot of funds that's popping up as well. And I met some connections with people from DNA, some crypto funds based in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Korea. Yeah, and I look forward to do all these introductions with the RChain community once I fully on board.
Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. And okay, other networking and connection. And I in China, I have talked with a manager. She's one of my friends. She works in a VC. I'm talking with her about. I told her about the RChain, and he's kind of interested about this. And I want she wants more materials about RChain. I may need some help from you, Jonathan. Maybe you can help me with the material things about this later, maybe? Yes?
Certainly, be glad to help.
Okay. Yes, and Kit? Kit, are you there? Kit?
Yes, I'm here.
Any updates in Japan?
A small one. I'm going to a meetup tomorrow night, which has 250 people showing up, and there are a couple people I know there from a previous meetup, and I'm hoping to find some opportunities to do something during the coming weeks. And the other update is I had lunch with Kent, one of the core developers who's working on Casper, and he turns out to be Japanese, and he's here if any sort of technical support for a meetup is needed. So we'll see what develops.
So, Kit, is Kent based in Japan currently?
Well, you would never know from his accent, but he is Japanese.
I know that.
Okay, he was educated in the States, and he's kind of like you, actually. He doesn't really have a base. He moves around, and he said that he'll be here until September, and then he will go to Berlin, and then he will go to Seattle, and after that, he's not sure.
Okay, that's great, because one of the challenges for our time zone, of course, is getting dedicated presentations, even by Zoom, from any of the development or technical people. So maybe we should take advantage of the fact that he's still in Japan August and do some sort of event with him zoomed in into Singapore or something.
Yes, he seems to be up for that kind of collaboration. He helps out the blog writers, and yeah, he shows up in Zoom. So I think as long as we plan it in advance, he'll be happy to help.
And he's a very good presenter. You can see some of his presentations from the DevCon in Boulder on YouTube.
Hello, kid.
The only challenge is that the devs are, of course, on a march to launch testnet by September 3rd. So we want to make sure that Meta doesn't get upset with us trying to access his time. We'll want to coordinate with Meta as well.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm done.
Me too. I'm done. Next.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's some problem with my connection. And are you done, kid? I've lost it.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem.
And there are some upcoming Asian conference, and I will attend. Going to attend a blockchain conference in Guangzhou, China, on July 29th. And I don't really know much about this, but I will explore more. And Jonathan will not attend Satoshi United in Singapore as previously planned. The final lineup of participants is not impressive. Okay, and then he is going to he's following the advice with partners to attend Hybrid Summit 2018 in Bangkok. Okay, and Peter Harris, is he there? I don't think so.
Peter is in Berlin, but he's coming to Hong Kong at the end of September for a conference. And there's a possibility that he might be doing some roadshow for the ICO for Resonate while in Asia, but we're not sure about that yet.
Okay, that's no, that's it. And some Singapore updates.
Yeah, I think I'll be meeting with Jonathan and some of my partners from MW Partners tomorrow at 11. We'll be meeting Xin Shu, who is the CEO of Zilliqa. We'll probably just start off with casual discussions and see how we can explore working together.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Mervin. And I think that's it for this week, RChain Asia. Anybody has any questions of all the things we talk about?
Yeah. So
Going,
often,
yeah.
sorry, how often do we do this call? Is it a weekly call or?
Weekly, every week.
Okay, right. And if I want to send everyone like a list of agenda that I like to discuss next time, do I just send it to you or?
We could have an open Google Doc for contributions to the agenda. That's what we've been doing.
Okay,
so
cool.
So we'll just send you a URL.
Okay, cool, right.
Okay, Jocelyn, can I have your contacts, email or something?
Yeah, I'll share it here. I'll share here in this chat, and would be great if you can send me any of the Chinese community channels you have right now, so that I can have a look at them. That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, actually, Will, that's a good point. It would be useful to have in the agenda as a reminder, here are the Asian online resources for RChain, so that it's always in the agenda as a reminder.
I lost again. Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think that's it. I think that's it for this week. Okay, everybody.
Okay, just one last thing. I am making a video on how to set up an R node from scratch. Yeah, I'm gonna show how to do it in a virtual machine of Debian or Ubuntu, and I should be able to publish this, to put this online tonight. I mean tonight in China. So for now it's only in Chinese, but if someone will want it to be English, I can make an English version.
That would be fantastic, Enzo. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fantastic, and so thank you.
Okay.
And Dror is actively involved in testing nodes as well, so he might be a resource for you. I don't know if to volunteer.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm in the Discord, and I saw him very active there. Yeah.
Great.
Great. Thank you. Okay, that's it. I think that's all for this week. RChain. Anybody has any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys next week. Bye-bye.